does the honorable delegate think, and does he think that this resolution is hypocritical, as it only sanctions wood and not the country that threw more atomic bombs than any other country, and the country that is involved in more wars than any other country, the United States of America?
Could the chair please thank the delegate for his excellent question? The delegate of Singapore believes that this resolution is not hypocritical because the nuclear attacks that were launched by the United States during the Second World War were used in order to bring a quick end to the war, as well as the crimes against humanity being committed by the governments of Germany and Japan. As a result, those were used to bring a quick end to the war, which is for peace purposes. Currently, most of the world is at peace. Wood has used their nuclear weapons against a neutral country because simply for the reason that it did not fit their worldview. Thank you.
Motion to follow up.
That is ordered.
Does the honorable delegate think that the actions that America is doing should be sanctioned and not only the wood, as it is proposed in this resolution?
Could the chair please ask the delegate to clarify which actions the United States has committed that he is referring to?
So, what the
Delegates, please avoid crosstalk. Continue this conversation in no form.
The delegate of the state of Palestine wants to address the American crimes in the wars.
Delegate, please continue in no form.
What?
Please converse with the delegate of Singapore in no form.
Okay. The delegate rests the case.
The delegate wishes to yield his time back to the chair.
On what grounds? That is an order. Would the United States like a 30-second right to reply?
Absolutely.
Right. Your time begins now.
Tell me, delegates of the room, does the delegate really believe that the United States is less just than the delegate who is involved in the Wood organization? An organization that launches nuclear attacks with dangerous nuclear weapons on their own member organizations. This country, the United States of America, is trying to protect all member nations of the General Assembly rather than protect countries that are trying to nuclearly weaponize their own member nations and actually attack their own nations. And as such, the United States believes that they're a just country protecting all member nations in this committee, and as such, if any member nation needs protection from the Wood organization, they may come to the United States without any hesitation.
Thank you, United States. Your briefing is sent noted. Please be seated. The motion to extend points of information is in order. All those wishing to ask points of information to the delegate of Singapore, please raise your placards high. Delegates of the Marshall Islands, Ukraine, Yemen, Nigeria, and the USA, you are recognized in that order. Please line up at the microphone to speed up the process.
Could the chair please ask the delegate of what delegate?
Singapore.
Could the chair please ask the delegate of Singapore how the delegate believes this resolution would lead to peace and restoration when one of the clauses of the resolution specifically states that it would sanction all the members of Wood and those holding nuclear weapons?
Could the chair please thank the delegate for his great question? The delegate of Singapore believes that because Wood has committed a nuclear attack during a time of peace on a country, on a neutral country with this issue, that Wood must face its consequences. Otherwise, it will only embolden others with a similar goal to commit nuclear attacks because they would believe that they will not face any consequences.
Follow-up?
Granted.
Could the chair please ask the delegate of Singapore why he believes that sanctioning the United States and the United Kingdom because of their violations of the Non-Proliferation Treaty would lead to peace and restoration, as they are not part of Wood?
Could the chair please ask the delegate to rephrase his question?
Please rephrase your question in a more audible and concise manner.
Could the chair ask the delegate of Singapore how sanctioning the United States and the United Kingdom would help lead to peace and restoration, even though they are not part of wood?
The delegate of Singapore believes that there is no clause that sanctions the United States and United Kingdom in the resolution.
Follow?
Follow up to the second degree and not an order. Delegate of Ukraine, please.
The delegate of Ukraine would like to ask the delegate of USA through the chair that the delegate of USA had stated that his country had used nukes in the Second World War in order to come to a quick end of the war. However, Japan had already surrendered and also used up all its supplies. Thus, how could the USA justify his use of nukes?
Could the chair please thank the delegate for a question? The delegates believe that Japan had already surrendered is mistaken. The delegate of Singapore believes that the attacks were launched prior to Japan's surrender, and Japan's surrender was in response to the US attack on Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Follow-up?
Granted.
However, Japan had used up all its supplies, and also the war had technically ended as Germany was also defeated, and Japan was in no state to continue the war. But the USA decided to nuke Japan anyway in order to show their power to other nations. Thus, how could the USA still justify their use of nukes?
Could the chair please tell the delegate that while Japan and Germany while on the same side in the war, the German surrender was completely different from the Japanese surrender, which occurred later, following the attacks on Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
The United States would like its grievances noted on what grounds? Your grievances have been noted, however, due to time constraints, we will not be giving you a 30-second right to reply. Delegate of Yemen, please.
Could the chair please ask the delegate of Singapore to elaborate or give examples on how this resolution will help in the long term, considering that several other problems could arise due to solutions suggested in this resolution?
Could the chair please thank the delegate for a great question? The delegate of Singapore believes that this resolution will help to reduce the possibility of attack in the future, because it sets long-term realistic goal with the ultimate goal of total nuclear non-proliferation and disarmament, which will help to reduce the possibility of such an attack in the future.
Delegate of Nigeria, please.
Could the chair please ask the delegate of Singapore, why does he believe that Vietnam is a neutral country when Vietnam is part of the wood?
Could the chair please ask the delegate to rephrase the question?
Delegate of Nigeria, please rephrase your question.
Could the chair please ask the delegate of Singapore, as he answered the delegate of Palestine's question, why does he believe that Vietnam is a neutral country when Vietnam is part of the wood?
Could the chair please tell the delegate that the delegate of Singapore never mentioned that Singapore is a neutral country?
Delegate of Nigeria, the delegate of Singapore only opened himself up to points of information pertaining to his speech. Delegate of the USA.
The delegate of the United States of America would like to ask the delegate of Singapore through a chair about the delegate's thoughts regarding the threat proposed by Wood showing interest in deploying nuclear weapons in the U.S.
Could the chair please ask the delegate to restate her question more slowly?
A delegate of the USA, please state your question more slowly and clearly.
This delegate would like to ask the question through the chair regarding the delegate's thoughts about the threat proposed by Wood showing interest in deploying nukes in the U.S.
The delegate of Singapore believes would like to thank the delegate of the United States through the chair, and wishes to state that the delegate believes by deploying nuclear weapons towards the United States, this would only elicit a response which could result to mutually assured destruction, which the delegate of France noted in his speech earlier.
Thank you.
Delegate of Singapore, how do you yield?
The delegate of Singapore wishes to yield the remaining time back to the chair.
Thank you, Delegate. The floor is now open for an against speech. Are there any on the floor? Delegate of Russia, you have been recognized. Delegate, you will have 1 minute and 30 seconds to deliver your speech. The Chair of Bank of Government wants a 1 minute 30. Advising your time is up. You have the floor.
If USA wanted to have every single country in the General Assembly, then why are they abusing our little brothers in Syria? Why? This delegate is tired of debating resolutions which always end up in the favor of USA. This is some typical USA stuff. They abuse other countries and then they cover it up in the name of finding moral peace. They always do these kind of stuff, like as we can see in the resolution, in clause 7. It states that calls upon the overall restriction of nuclear capabilities through Now, even in this resolution where we're trying to find peace, they're trying to find advantages for themselves. The delegate of Russia, this is the reason why delegate of Russia joined Wood. To find peace, finally. Through Wood, we can actually find peace and not just hand over our rights to USA.
Thank you, Delegate of Russia. Is the Delegate of Russia open to any points of information?
Any points pertaining to the speech?
Apologies, US delegation. To what point do you rise? On what grounds? The delegation of the United States grievances have been noted, however, you will not be receiving a right to reply. Delegate of Russia. The Delegate of Russia has opened itself up to any and all points of information pertaining to the speech. Are there any on the floor? Delegates of Pakistan, Sweden, Netherlands, Peru, and Uganda, you've been recognized in that order. Please line up behind the microphones to wait for your points of information. To repeat, that is Pakistan, Sweden, Netherlands, Peru, and Uganda in that order.
The delegate of Pakistan would like to ask the delegate of Russia through the chair that he mentioned that he joined Wood for peace. However, what are his views on Wood bombing? What are his views on Wood wanting to bomb Vietnam because they put Wood in jeopardy?
Pages, can you please come up and solve technical difficulties?
The delegate of Russian Federation would like to thank the delegate of Pakistan to the chair. I would like to say that the only way we can achieve peace is by starting again, by restarting. The reason why Wood bombed Vietnam was that because it put the mission of finding peace it jeopardized that mission, and that we cannot let USA find about these missions if they're going to stop us and try to bring all these try to get advantage to themselves again. That was the reason why Wood had to keep itself a secret and had to bomb Vietnam.
Denied due to time constraints. Delegate of Sweden.
Delegate of Sweden would like to ask Delegate of Russia through the chair that what was the that USA actually making for the benefits of itself? Please state it in detail.
Could the delegate repeat the question? Could the delegate
Please come to order.
Could the delegate repeat the question?
Can the delegate of Sweden please repeat his question?
Delegate of Sweden would like to ask the delegate of Russian Federation through the chair that what was in the resolution that USA tried to make beneficial of itself.
Alright, the delegate of Russian Federation would like to thank the delegate of Sweden through the chair. I would like to say that in Clause 7, it states that calls upon the overall restriction of nuclear weapon capabilities through supporting the rights of countries already possessing nuclear weapons to keep those weapons under the condition are only utilized for defense purposes. And then in subclause C, it states that subclause I, immediate lockdown on nuclear weapons facilities. However, what about USA's nuclear facilities? USA is known to own is one of the countries which to own the most nuclear weapons. What about their nuclear facilities?
Thank you, Delegate.
The delegate of the Netherlands would like to ask the delegate of Russian Federation through the chair that how is the delegate of Russian Federation sure that peace can be found through wood organization, especially through using nuclear weapons?
The delegate of Russian Federation would like to thank the delegate of Netherlands through the chair. Would like to say that we can finally get rid of corrupt things, corrupt organizations, and corrupt countries like USA. We can finally get rid of these things and finally achieve peace.
Delegates, please come to order.
On what grounds? Thank you. Your grievances have been noted. Sit down. Sit down! If the delegation of the United States maintains its policy of making its grievances noted, the chair will have no choice but to issue the delegation a warning. Delegate of Peru.
This delegate's question was already answered. But this delegate can rephrase the question again.
Does the delegate have a different question you would like to ask? Does the delegate of Peru have a different question that he would like to ask, as his previous question was already answered?
No.
In that case, please be seated. Delegate of Uganda.
The delegate of Uganda would like to ask the delegate of Russia, through the chair, how Russia believes that Clause 7, subclause B, excludes the US because it states regulating countries with nuclear capabilities, which would include the USA. So this delegate fails to understand how the delegate of Russia sees that it tips in favor of the USA.
The delegate of Russian Federation would like to thank the delegate of
Uganda.
Excuse me?
Uganda.
To the chair, would like to say that if you look at Clause 5, if the delegate looks at Clause 5, it mentions all countries but USA. So that's why the delegate assumed that the delegate, Clause 7 would be about, would exclude USA as well.
Request follow-up?
Granted.
This delegate would like to point out that Clause 5 states only the members of would and does not specifically exclude the US as being exempt from Clause 7.
Could the delegate rephrase the question?
Delegate of Uganda, please rephrase your follow-up.
Clause 5 does not exclude the US, does not state the US as excluded from Clause 7, which pertains to regulating countries with nuclear capabilities. So therefore, there is no reason to assume that the US has not been. Sorry, there's no reason to assume.
Delegate of Uganda, that is a statement, not a question. Do you have a question?
Yes. This delegate would like to ask the Russian Federation why they believe that the U.S. is explicitly excluded from Clause 7.
The delegate of the delegate of Russian Federation would like to thank the delegate of Uganda and would like to answer through the chair. Because that's some typical USA stuff. That's what USA does.
Don't do it. Alright. Delegate, thank you, Delegate of Uganda. Denied due to time constraints. Delegate of Russia, how do you yield?
Back to the chair.
Thank you. Also, delegates, please be informed to not move the microphone from its stand, as that can cause some technical issues. Alright, the time is now the time is about to be 1:30. So all delegates whose countries start from M to Z, so that is Madagascar down to Yemen, you are now dismissed for lunch. Please return promptly at 2:30. Delegates who call the chair's meeting will be at the Narnia wardrobe. So please go in there.